16 days, 25 districts and over 100 constituencies across Bihar. Rahul Gandhi's Voter Adhikar Yatra today concludes in Bihar's capital city Patna, and this yatra has been called from Gandhi to Ambedkar. Why? Because that is the route that has been taken by Rahul Gandhi for his roadshow. It has started from Gandhi Maidan and it is going to culminate at the Ambedkar statue, where the Congress MP and leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha is going to be paying his respects to the framer of our constitution, Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar. Several India Bloc leaders are also joining Rahul Gandhi's campaign. And remember, the central theme of this entire yatra has been vote chori, with Rahul Gandhi and his team coining the phrase vote chor gaddi chor. They hope that the Bihar election is going to show the momentum of this particular call. They have picked up on the SIR that is being conducted in Bihar by the Election Commission to say that the votes of opposition voters are systematically being stolen by the EC along with the BJP. And it's on this issue that the entire opposition today is coming together. It's a big show of strength. You've got TMC's Yusuf Pathan, Shiv Sena's Sanjay Raut, NCP's Supriya Sule, all of them expected, JMM chief and in fact Chief Minister of Jharkhand Hemant Soren is also present. Akhilesh Yadav had participated earlier. Today he is not there. Tejasvi Yadav, of course, has been marching along with Rahul Gandhi, along with Dipankar Bhattacharya of the CPI-ML in this entire yatra. Now, what are the claims made? The claim is that 65 lakh people who have been removed from the draft electoral rolls, all of this has been done deliberately in order to weaken the opposition, that these are all opposition voters and they are being targeted and weeded out by the Election Commission, which is working hand in glove with the BJP. But today, when it comes to this particular yatra, there is a single-minded focus, hope that the momentum of this yatra is carried forward into the Bihar elections and then maybe into the next few elections, because next year is going to be even more crucial. You've got states like West Bengal going to polls. You've got Tamil Nadu going into elections. Kerala is going to go into elections soon. And the opposition will be hoping that this is something that begins in Bihar and then spreads to the rest of the country.
नई आजादी की ओर बढ़ रहा है और नई करवट ले लिया बिहार। बिहार ने परिवर्तन की आवाज बुलंद कर दी। गरीबों के साथ जो जुल्म करोगे, युवाओं के साथ जो अत्याचार करोगे, छात्रों की जिंदगी के साथ खिलवाड़ करोगे और किसानों को आत्महत्या करने पर मजबूर करोगे, तो जब तक राहुल गांधी हैं तब तक संविधान सुरक्षित है।
आज राहुल गांधी जी पटना में यात्रा निकाल रहे हैं वोट चोरी के खिलाफ, और हम सब पूरे कांग्रेस जनता के साथ खड़े हैं। जनता चाहती है उनके अधिकारों को छीना ना जाए, और ये जो प्रहार हो रहा है हमारी लोकतांत्रिक प्रणाली के ऊपर वोट चोरी के माध्यम से, उसके विरोध में पूरा इंडिया अलायंस, पूरे देश की जनता और पूरी कांग्रेस पार्टी राहुल जी के नेतृत्व में सामने खड़ी है। इसको बर्दाश्त नहीं करेंगे।
मत की क्या उसकी अहमियत है, मत बदलाव का कैसे वाहक होता है, ये तमाम प्रश्न न सिर्फ उन जिलों में या उन विधानसभाओं से जहां से ये गुजरी, बल्कि उसके बाएं 100-200 किलोमीटर और दाएं 100-200 किलोमीटर तक ये गूंज गई और वहीं तक महदूद नहीं रही, ये बिहार के बाहर भी। तो मैं समझता हूं इसका सबसे बड़ा हासिल है कि कम से कम मुझे स्मरण नहीं है कि आज़ादी के बाद चुनाव आयोग की विश्वसनीयता, नियत और उनकी नीतियों पर इतना बड़ा सवाल कभी हुआ।
देखिए, जनता का यह अधिकार है वोट देने का। हर व्यक्ति एक वोट के लिए एलिजिबल है, और ये आज़ादी के बाद से, जब से देश में चुनाव हो रहे हैं, तब से लोगों को यह अधिकार मिला हुआ है। लेकिन भाजपा चुनाव आयोग के साथ मिलकर के किस तरीके से हर वक्त हर जगह सत्ता में रहे, इसके लिए क्या क्या कर रही है देश में, ये सबके सामने है। हमारे नेता आदरणीय राहुल गांधी जी ने पूरे फैक्ट्स एंड फिगर्स के साथ महाराष्ट्र में क्या हुआ, कैसे वोट बढ़ा के ये लोग सत्ता में आने का काम किए, और उसके बिल्कुल विपरीत जब इनकी चोरी पकड़ी गई है तो उसके बिल्कुल विपरीत बिहार में वोट बंदी करके सत्ता में काबिज होना चाहते हैं। ये हम कतई होने नहीं देंगे। इस देश के युवाओं का जो अधिकार है नौकरियों पे हो, उनके प्रगति पर हो, वह सुनिश्चित हो सकता है उनके एक वोट से।
Before the election, it's a war of narratives, make no mistake about it. The opposition's messaging is that not just democracy, not just constitution, now your very right to vote has been threatened. It is under attack, and the BJP and the Election Commission are working together to do this. The BJP, on the other hand, has given it a twist by calling it the Ghuspaitiya Bachao Yatra. Remember, earlier, the Election Commission sources had indicated that there are a number of outsiders, infiltrators, people who are not Indians, who have also been identified during the SIR, and their names will also be struck off the electoral rolls, although data to that effect hasn't officially yet come from the Election Commission. But since then, first the Home Minister and now even Shivraj Singh Chauhan has said, what is the real aim of this yatra? Is it really about protecting the right to vote, or is it about protecting the vote bank of the opposition?
क्योंकि मैं उन लोगों में से हूं जिनकी दृढ़ मान्यता है इस देश में एक भी घुसपैठिया कहीं पर नहीं रहना चाहिए। आज भी इलेक्शन कमीशन मतदाता सूची का शुद्धिकरण कर रहा है, SIR कर रहा है। कुछ पार्टियां इसके विरुद्ध घुसपैठिया बचाओ यात्रा लेकर निकली। मैं असम के युवाओं को आज पूछना चाहता हूं, किसी भी देश की मतदाता सूची देश के लोकतंत्र का हृदय होती है। मतदाता सूची में विदेशी नागरिकों को स्थान मिलना चाहिए। इतने सारे प्रबुद्ध जन बैठे हैं, मुझे कहे कि मतदाता सूची में विदेशी नागरिकों को स्थान मिलना चाहिए क्या?
और आजकल बिहार में क्या हो रहा है? रैलियां निकल रही, यात्राएं। वो यात्रा वोट चोरी की यात्रा नहीं है, घुसपैठिया बचाओ यात्रा है। घुसपैठिया गठबंधन बना हुआ है, SIR के नाम पे हल्ला हो रहा है। घुसपैठिया गठबंधन वाले कैसे घुसपैठिए बने रहे वोटर लिस्ट में? अरे दूसरे देश से आए तो भैया कहां से आए हो, कब आए हो, कैसे आए हो? हमारा देश है कि धर्मशाला?
All right, joining us now on this broadcast, we have NDTV's Prabhakar Kumar joining us from the ground in Patna, and NDTV's political editor Vasudha Venugopal is with me in the studio. But Prabhakar, to you first, since you have also tracked this within Bihar, they have tried to cover at least 100 constituencies. What is the feedback you get from the people? Is it finding resonance among the voters? Has the message of vote chori trickled down to the last person?
See, the India Alliance leaders would love to believe that it has actually trickled down to the last voter on the ground, because not only for last 15 days when this yatra began, but even before that, they have been making noise about it. You saw a band call given by the opposition on this particular issue, and then this mega yatra of 15 days, which actually toured the length and breadth of the state. Rahul Gandhi, along with SV Yadav, they were all there on the ground, trying to send out a message to the voters that they are being deprived by their voting right, by this BJP government, by the Election Commission at the behest of the BJP government. And apart from the other issues, other traditional issues in Bihar, like unemployment, like migration, like law and order, they are trying to make this as one of the big election issues, and India Alliance leaders like to believe that they have been successful so far in actually trickling down the message to the last voter on the ground.
All right. In fact, some of these images that we are getting, without a doubt, Vasudha, there is an effort, and time and again, people have attacked the Congress, the India Alliance for not being unified. You know, there were plenty of cracks that emerged. Omar Abdullah had a difference of opinion. Arvind Kejriwal has pretty much said, I'm out of this. But at least today there's an effort to put up a united front. I think every alliance partner also recognizes that this message has the potential of finding an echo among the voters.
That's right, Padmaja. In fact, as a parliament reporter, I would often say that, only in the parliament the united opposition strategy works, because, whenever there's an an Ambedkar protest or SIR, the opposition comes together. Otherwise, you know, the DMK always says the TMC doesn't want to support us on language. The TMC says epic may we don't have that kind of, you know, united opposition.
I mean, imagine MK Stalin came all the way to Patna. Despite having a language barrier, he came, he even did a speech. Although today you don't have Mamata Banerjee coming, but she still sent Yusuf Pathan. She sent 2 MPs to represent her.
Laliteshmani Tripathi and of course Yusuf Pathan. But the fact that she is not there is a big message out there. But like you said, MK Stalin, Revanth Reddy, Siddaramaiah, and Mr. Sukhu. So all the Congress chief ministers were also there. So this is the Congress party trying to take the mantle of leadership onto itself and saying that, you know, we are the only party capable of leading the opposition. So SIR is, you know, this one issue that they have picked on. And I do think, Padmaja, that this could be a big gamble because there are other issues that they could have really focused on. But Rahul Gandhi has this habit of focusing on one issue, and that's exactly what he has done. The Congress party has also alleged 85 lakh discrepancies in electoral rolls. But two things that the opposition does not find going along, you know, its narrative is one, the judiciary, because the process of SIR has not been stayed. The second thing is, of course, you know, we've not seen those large-scale protests that we saw during CAA. So, like Prabhakar said, how much of resonance does this issue have on ground to mainstream?
You know, and 2-3 things. Since you spoke about the judiciary, one, the Supreme Court hasn't stayed the entire process. 2, there was an oral observation in the last hearing where the Supreme Court said, we are quite stunned that you've got thousands of your BLAs who are your party agents on the ground, yet none of you has actually gone and submitted an objection. Why is it that you only come to us with all of these people? I remember there were even 2 people who were paraded, people who had been marked as dead apparently in the rolls. And the Supreme Court said, listen, this is all theatre. All of that has been forgotten by us. We are only going to focus on the facts of the case. So on the one hand, you've got a Chori narrative, which a little bit has received a setback from the Supreme Court. Also, if one starts talking about the data of actual election results, no vote chori happened. MK Stalin went to Bihar, said vote chori is rampant, but you have only bettered your vote share, you know, between the assembly elections and the Lok Sabha elections. So a little bit of shaky ground there. But the Congress Vote Adhikar Yatra has culminated opposition's show of strength in Patna, and in the midst of all this, Mallikarjun Kharge, who was speaking from stage today, again has launched a frontal attack on the Prime Minister, saying that stealing is his habit. The Prime Minister is in the habit of stealing. Modi has a habit of stealing votes, Prabhakar. And that really has been the effort of the opposition to say Bihar is not a one-off. It's going to happen everywhere. And Tejasvi Yadav, perhaps realizing that just vote chori alone is not compelling enough, has also said, आज आपका वोट का चोरी करेंगे, कल को जो आपको राशन मिल रहा है वो भी चुरा लेंगे, आपको कुछ नहीं देंगे. प्रभाकर. All right, we seem to have lost the line with Prabhakar, but it's extremely interesting that there is an effort to try and broad-base this attack. Vasudha.
Absolutely, Padmaja. I think also the Congress party trying to make it clear that this is one issue that it wants to amplify and also broad-base it. And if you remember, there was this one awkward episode where Tejasvi Yadav had to declare himself as the chief minister because, you know, when Rahul Gandhi was asked this particular question, he, you know, sidestepped it, saying that he is very happy with the way united opposition is shaping up. So in my understanding, I do remember the Prime Minister statement in many political rallies of the Congress party often behaves like a parasite, relying completely on the allies, and that clearly seems to be
Parjeevi. That's the word he always uses for the Congress.
So I think
Parjeevi.
That is something, Padmaja, I think the Congress party has taken very seriously, and it feels that this yatra would be important in reviving the organizational strength of the Congress party in a state like Bihar, where, remember, the opposition did not do as well in 2024 Lok Sabha elections, despite the opposition doing well in other states.
Yeah, and to be fair, the RJD did do better than last time. They had drawn a complete blank. This time around, they did manage to wrest a few seats away from the JDU and BJP, but that's not what they wanted. That would have been a real test for Tejasvi Yadav in particular, because remember, he has more riding on this than Rahul Gandhi. For him, it's almost like a question of survival. He has to show that he is the inheritor of Lalu Prasad's legacy. But since this CM face issue was rightly brought up by Vasudha, Prabhakar, I want to ask you, you know, there are a lot of pictures that have emerged in the recent past, Rahul Gandhi speaking right now, and pictures which showed that Rahul Gandhi, you know, when that Jeep was driving, Rahul Gandhi was standing right in front, and you had Rohini and Akhilesh Yadav in the back seat. You know, they were like standing there. They were almost not visible to the media's cameras. The question that many people are asking is, who is the real driver in this entire yatra? Who's in the driving seat? Or has Rahul Gandhi actually managed to project himself as a nationwide leader with Tejasvi in a bit of a, you know, secondary role?
Yes, see, though this entire yatra was actually a Congress show, but if you talk about the Bihar politics...
That's the picture, Rahul Gandhi on that G. Yes, Prabhakar, go on.
Tejasvi Yadav, who is the man in the driving... So if you talk about the man in the driving seat in the context of the Bihar elections or Bihar politics, it's basically the Tejasvi Yadav, who happens to be in the role of a big brother here. Remember, this entire alliance which is cobbled here in Bihar, the India alliance, the big brother role goes to RJD, and Tejasvi Yadav being the leader of the RJD, he's the man in the driving seat. So this entire show was a Congress show, but still, if you see the supporters who were there actually welcoming the entire yatra, you could see more RJD flags than Congress flags. So RJD would always be a show stealer as far as Bihar is concerned, because they have a solid support base of Muslims and Yadav. So that's a quite a substantial chunk. That's around 35% of the votes that we are talking. So Tejasvi Yadav, or RJD for that matter, is in the role of a big brother. He's the man in the driving seat, and the Congress actually plays second fiddle in the Bihar politics. And when it will come to the seat distribution, you'll see that it's basically the RJD which will be actually deciding as to how many seats the Congress should contest. Congress would want the maximum number of seats for themselves, but RJD would decide on the basis of merit. So the ball is always in the court of RJD as far as Bihar is concerned and the India alliance in Bihar is concerned.
RJD is in the driver's seat when it comes to, you know, seat allocation, but at least the Congress, Vasudha, will try to get a lion's share, or at least get a huge chunk, because their performance was the worst. Last assembly election, the strike rate of the Congress was the worst among the opposition alliance. Ironically, it was the CPI-ML which had the best strike rate of, I think, the seats that they contested. They won almost 60% of those seats. The Congress this time around doesn't want that Tejasvi Yadav should hold that against them and say, listen, we gave you ample opportunity. You won only, what, 7 seats, right? 7 seats they won last time around. They will say, look at the Bharat Jodo Yatra, look at the Vote Adhikar Yatra, the momentum, the people are with us. This is also about bargaining power.
That's right, Padmaja. In fact, there is the Vikashsheel Insan Party, and that really, we'll have to wait and see where those seats come from, because my sources tell me that the Congress Party does not want to let go of its 70 seats, and it has to come from the kitty of the RJD. The RJD, I really liked what Tejasvi Yadav said on the 17th of August after driving that Jeep. He said he was a Sarthi, anecdotes or instances, examples from Mahabharata have become very, the Prime Minister is talking about Sudarshan Chakra. Tejasvi Yadav said that, I am the Sarthi, I am the Krishna of Mahabharata. So he said that. And on the last day in Ara, he basically said that I am the Chief Minister. So clearly the first word and the last word was to Tejasvi Yadav. And I also noticed that Rahul Gandhi, in some ways limited himself to the criticism of the Prime Minister. He allowed Tejasvi Yadav to take on Nitish Kumar. So making those roles very clear that I am the national opponent and you're the state opponent. For me, I think that this is largely an attempt by the Congress Party to also revive itself and prepare for 2029 and also the subsequent 2030 elections.
As you observe what has been happening, do you think that for Tejasvi Yadav, Prabhakar, this is also a do or die election? Last time he managed to make his party the single largest party, and yet the Chief Minister's chair eluded him. Now, Laluji, extremely old and frail, he is out on bail. There are worries about his health. For Tejasvi Yadav, this is his chance. He either needs to become Chief Minister, or perhaps there could be challengers from within. Already you have a challenger in Tej Pratap Yadav, his own brother, who is making discordant noises. What do you make of the challenges before Tejasvi Yadav? All right, let's get a bird's eye view in the meantime as Prabhakar answers of that entire rally site. You see plenty of flags there. Of course, you will see them of Congress, of the RJD, but also Vikashsheel Insan Party, the Mukesh Sahni Party there. Yes, Prabhakar, the challenges for Tejasvi Yadav.
See, as far as the challenges for Tejasvi Yadav within India Alliance in Bihar is concerned, I don't see much challenge here, because as far as the Chief Minister's face is concerned, Tejasvi Yadav is an undeclared Chief Minister face, and though the Congress has officially not declared it, and when the question was posed to Rahul Gandhi, he refused to comment on it. But as we saw in Bhojpur the day before yesterday, from the public dais, Tejasvi Yadav declared himself the Chief Minister if India Alliance is voted to power in Bihar, and that too in front of Rahul Gandhi. Rahul Gandhi kept mum about it. So as they have the numbers, they are in the big brother role. So they would certainly be Tejasvi Yadav certainly will be the Chief Minister face. The reason why Congress is not declaring him at this moment, because that would actually kind of compromise their bargaining power in terms of number of seats which Congress wants for themselves. So they would first want to bargain the maximum number of seats for themselves, for the Congress party in Bihar, and only then they would actually agree upon declaring him the Chief Minister face of India Alliance before the party or before this alliance goes to poll. So it's merely because they don't want to dent their prospects of the bargaining which they would have with the RJD. So they are not actually officially declaring him the CM face of Bihar.
Okay, let's also play out for you what it is that Mallikarjun Kharge said. The Congress president again and again has been the most acerbic when it comes to launching attacks on the Prime Minister. And today he said that stealing is a habit with Mr. Modi.
जो वोट चोरी का मामला है, मोदी हमेशा चोरी करने की आदत रखते हैं। वोट चोरी वो करते हैं, पैसा चोरी करते हैं, और जो जितने भी बैंक से चोरी करके लूट के बाहर जाते हैं, उनको भी वो लोग संभालते हैं। मोदी जी ये वोट चोरी कराकर बिहार में जीतने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं।
Let me also cut across to Ankit Tyagi joining us live from Patna now. And just like we were discussing earlier, Ankit, it is not just about vote chori anymore. The Congress, the RJD talking about how today it is vote ki chori, tomorrow it will be Arakshan ki chori, day after it will be a rights ki chori.
You know, this whole theme of this yatra in the last 17 days that it has gone across 25 districts and about 174 constituencies of Bihar, it culminates here. It was an impromptu rally and that took place because they wanted to go a couple of kilometers further to the Ambedkar statue, but the MGB was not given the permission here, and this is the Dak Bangla Chauraha where the rally has culminated, the road show has culminated, and with that the first official attempt as far as the election campaign is concerned of the Mahagathbandhan. You will see a lot of these people, those who are the supporters, those who have come through. One thing that I found, Padmaja, and when I have been speaking to people, Rahul Gandhi and everybody else, the senior netas, though it has been a big show of strength, the idea was to bring the parliamentary, the unity of the opposition down onto the streets in Bihar, and that is what they have done with all those leaders in between also coming in. Today it was Hemant Soren, the Jharkhand Chief Minister, along with representative of various other India Bloc alliance partners. What you were saying, vote chori is the beginning. This is actually an extension of what happened in 2024. Arakshan chori kar lenge, aapka arakshan khatre mein hai, संविधान बदल देंगे. And from that it has now come to vote chori. Especially the focus has been the EBC, the marginalized, the minorities, and they are saying that if they take away your right to vote,